kid is a scary point in your life, yet you're too young and innocent to even realize it. I have a horrible memory from my early childhood that I wish I could simply block out completely, but I just can't. I was, I believe, 6 or 7 years old. I was at the summer rec program that my parents had signed me up for. I was in the 6 and 7-year-olds group, the youngest group at the camp. One day our group was at the playground, and some oldish man sitting on a bench started talking to me. He knew my name. I remember feeling very comfortable with him, like he seemed kind. He gave me a candy that I ate on the spot, and he offered to push me on the swing. I think I told him that's alright and continued talking to him, asking him dumb little kid questions. He introduced himself as Robbie, I still remember to the day, and told me he was friends with my mom, and since she was running late, he'd have to pick me up after camp. I said okay, and around that time, my counselors shouted for our group to assemble our line by the gate so we could leave. We got back to our group's home area where we would sit and wait for the parents to come pick the kids up. I saw Robbie approaching the bench, and he said to Cal, one of my counselors, that he was picking me up for the day since my mom wasn't available. Cal looked at me and made sure I knew him. I nodded my head. Cal crossed my name off in his notebook and high-fived me goodbye, and I walked off with this Robbie guy. I remember he grabbed and held my hand as we walked, and I also remember that he was walking extremely fast, like it was hard for me to keep up with my short little legs. We made it to his car. He let me in the back passenger seat. He seemed to be in a hurry. He rushed into his seat, started the car, locked the doors, and started driving fast out of the parking lot. I asked, "Are you taking me home?" "Yeah," he replied. I remember hearing some yelling noises from outside the car. I lifted myself off the seat to look out the rear window and saw 2 of my counselors pointing at the car I was in to one of the park supervisors. This is when things got scary for my little self. As I was looking out the back window, the man screamed at the top of his lungs to get down. I got so scared I started to cry and tried opening the door when he was at a red light, but he had the child lock on. He tried to calm me down by apologizing, saying he was driving me home. I can't remember what exactly I was thinking, but I do remember being scared, starting to wonder if I was actually being brought home. We were in the car for quite some time, and I started to realize I didn't recognize where we were. We were not anywhere near my house. I felt like I had to throw up from being so scared. I remember Robbie muttering, oh shit," constantly under his breath, and he kept looking in his rearview mirror. Then, the sound of a police siren directly behind us made him scream in anger once more. He pulled to the side on a neighborhood road and told me to go along with whatever he said. But he didn't have a chance for that. 2 police officers stormed out from the car with their guns half drawn and yelled at Robbie to step out of the vehicle with his hands up. He did so without question and was cuffed while they had him laying face first on the concrete. He was brought into the car while the other officer stuck with me, comforted me, and asked me questions. Another cop car arrived, and so did my mom in her minivan. She was in tears and hugged me when she got out. So backing up, when Robbie, or whatever his real name was walking me to his car, my mom had already gotten to the bench to pick me up, when Cal told her some man already picked me up. That's when they ran to catch what car we got into and called the cops right away. One of the camp supervisors was actually tailing us on the road, which is why Cal was panicking and how the cops were able to locate us. Now you can see why I wish I could block this memory out. It's disturbing, it's sickening, and I often have to think about the horrible, unimaginable things